Chicago and Intersport Television welcome you to the March Madness experience and to live coverage of the boys IHSA AA Championship games coming to you from Peoria. Coverage of the IHSA Boys Class AA Championship games are proudly presented by Pepsi and by Country Companies. Hello everyone, I'm Ann Warner inside the Peoria Civic Center. This is the site of the March Madness experience. It's an interactive exhibit where basketball fans can test their skills over the next 2 days. We'll be bringing you all the hoopla throughout our broadcast. Right now, it's time to head next door to center stage to Carver Arena. That's where Whitney Young and Elgin will tip off the first game from the Elite Eight. And for the call of that game, we go to Dave Ennett and Dave Kaplan. Gentlemen.
And welcome to Carver Arena, quarterfinal number 1. The Dolphins of Whitney Young against the Elgin Maroons. Winner of this game will go on to play tomorrow's first semi-final game. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Ennett with David Kaplan. There you see the brackets. Elgin and Whitney Young meeting here. The winner will go on to take on Joliet or Quincy as we kick off another great weekend of March Madness here in Peoria, Cap, although it'll be hard to imagine topping last weekend's sensational basketball in the Class A tournament.
Right, who would have thought that tiny Nauvoo Calusa would come in here in a sold-out house and get the job done and win a championship? Now, Whitney Young tries to avenge last year's stubbing of the toe to Peoria Manual, while Elgin will try to play the role of ultimate spoiler, knocking off the number 2 team in the country.
Well, there's no Peoria Manual this year, but there is Whitney Young, rated number 2 in the country by USA Today, number 1 in the state of Illinois, and led by Quentin Richardson.
Quentin Richardson is a prime-time player. He can score in the paint. He can knock down threes. He's a wonderful young man headed to DePaul. He's one of the top 10 players in the country, and he wants the ball in crunch time.
Well, the Elgin Maroons came out of the DeKalb Super Sectional where they beat Naperville North. They are led by junior guard Shawn Harrington.
Shawn Harrington is an extension of the coach, and it's his father. He knows how to play the game. You see, he's better from 3 than he is with his 2-point shots because in their half-court offense, he gets better look off of screens from the 3-point stripe.
So it is Elgin against Whitney Young in our first quarterfinal game. Back to meet the starting lineups in just a moment.
Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television's coverage of the IHSA Boys Class AA Championship games are proudly presented by Pepsi and by Country Companies.
Quarterfinal number 1 coming up between Young and Elgin, and Yvonne Simmons is standing by with Coach George Stanton.
Thanks, Dave. Coach Stanton, you guys came here last year, but you have a different attitude going into this game today.
Yeah, last year we were glad to be here, but this year I think we've set our goals all year on going for state. We're not going to be satisfied unless we do better than we did last year, which means we must at least win 1 game.
Okay, good luck. Thank you very much. Dave, back to you.
All right, Yvonne, thank you. So George Stanton and his young Dolphins getting set to take on Elgin. Back with more in a moment. Whitney Young against Elgin in our first Class AA quarterfinal game. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Thanks, Dave. Coach Harrington, you made a change in your lineup in mid-season to accommodate those teams with physical players. You're facing one today.
Right, we're facing one of the best teams in the country today at Whitney Young. We moved our 2 sophomores, Marcus Smallwood, 6'5", and Marcus Howard, 6'1", into the starting lineup. We felt that if we ever going to have a chance to get down to the big dance, that those 2 guys were going to have to be major contributors for us, and they've fit in real well. The chemistry hasn't changed, and the 2 kids that were starting are now coming off the bench and filling their roles and doing a great job.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck. Dave, back to you.
Yeah, what an impact the 2 Marcuses have had on Elgin. Let's meet these 2 teams with the public address announcer here at Carver Arena and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you to please stand and address the flag with your hands over your heart as guest soloist Mandy Grizzle, a student at Normal Community High School, leads us in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we
School. Good afternoon, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the city of Peoria, welcome to America's original March Madness. Today's Class AA quarterfinal game in Carver Arena features the Chicago Young Dolphins, a record of 27-1, and the Elgin Maroons, a record of 30-1. No other state in America could claim the rich history and tradition that has been generated by March Madness in Illinois. Earning a berth among the Elite Eight in the IHSA Boys State Tournament is a tremendous accomplishment. A special memento recognizing the 1998 Elite Eight teams has been commissioned by the Playing in Peoria Steering Committee. They will be presented to each player and coaching staff member in today's quarterfinal game by a representative of one of our March Madness Experience sponsors. Fans of America's original March Madness, please direct your attention to the Carver Arena floor. Presenting the special mementos to the visiting team will be Gary Radmer, the division sales manager from the Chicago Tribune. And presenting the mementos to the home team will be Scott Sissel, vice president for Silco. Now, here are the rosters for today's first quarterfinal game. For Chicago Young, a 5'10 junior, Christopher Yates. A 6'1 junior, Lavelle Wilson. A 5'11 junior, Marcus Sankey. A 6'3 senior, Reginald Jones. A 6'6 freshman, Najib Eccles. A 6'9 senior, Marquise Wright. And a 6-foot senior, Jasond Parker. And now the Elgin Maroons. A 5'10 junior, Kobe Chanterbury. A 5'11 senior, Mike Roth. A 6'1 senior, Scott Henke. A 6-foot junior, Reno Mariotti. A 6'4 senior, Jim Ebert. A 6'3 senior, Dustin Ackman. A 6'5 senior, Joe Heaton. A 6'2 junior, Mark Mallow. A 6'3 senior, John Holden. And a 6'3 junior, Jack Belinsky. And now let's meet the starting lineups for this quarterfinal action. For Young, a 6'7 junior at a forward, number 50, Christopher Clemens. For Elgin at a forward, a 6'4 sophomore, number 21, Marcus Smallwood. The other Dolphins forward, a 6'6 senior, number 34, Quentin Richardson. The other forward for the Maroons, a 6'5 senior, number 32, Brent Gooden. At center for Chicago Young, a 6'8 senior, number 44, Corey Harris. One of three starting guards for the Maroons, a 6'1 sophomore, number 22, Marcus Howard. At a guard for the Dolphins, a 6'4 senior, number 25, Dennis Gates. At a guard for Elgin, a 6'2 junior, 24, Shawn Harrington. The other guard for the Dolphins, a 5'10 senior, number 4, Cordell Henry. The third guard for Elgin, a 6'1 senior, 33, Matt Ludeman. Assistant coaches for Young, Cyrus McGinnis, Anthony Spivey, Billy Brown, and Mike Nadich. The head coach in his
George
11th
Stanton,
season.
11 years at Whitney Young. This is his final season as coach of the Dolphins. He's going to be heading into retirement. And Jim Harrington, in his 13th year at Elgin, his 20th year as a head coach. He was at Weber from 79 to 85 and 246 wins at Elgin in 13 years. So these two teams meet here, and Whitney Young in the state tournament for the second time. Elgin making its 23rd appearance, but the Maroons have not won a championship since 1925. This is the third time that Harrington has brought a team to this point, and they lost in the quarterfinals in 1987, 1990. They had not won a sectional final in quite some time, but won the Percy sectional complex and then the DeKalb super sectional. It's a good club, Dave.
I think it's a very good club. I think we have a good matchup here. Get a look at Quentin Richardson. You're going to enjoy watching this kid play. He's one of the premier players in America. But as I saw, 23rd appearance for Elgin in the Elite Eight. Quincy, who we'll see in the next game, 29 appearances, an all-time state record.
The Elgin Maroons won the Upstate 8 with a record of 13-1. Their 30 victories, the most in school history. What a year they have had. And they've done it with defense, too.
Jim Harrington, I remember when he coached at Weber, he had very good teams. He really stresses good shot selection, working hard at the defensive end, and when you don't have the firepower that Whitney Young has in terms of depth and talent at every single spot, he is stressing to his guys today, we have to maximize every possession and treat every possession like gold.
And there is Coach Harrington's son, Shawn, co-captain of the Elgin Maroons. As we get set to go, first of 4 quarterfinals here in Carver Arena today. Boy, this is the toughest ticket in town.
You cannot get into this place, and it will be rocking all weekend long. Something that they've done down here, which I think is a very smart move by the tournament committee. Sometimes when your team loses, team fans go home, and that leaves those seats empty. They are selling general admission tickets, and you can come in and find a seat for the later games if a team has already been beaten and someone went home.
Clemens, the jump center for Young against Marcus Smallwood for Elgin. And we are just about set to go with quarterfinal game number 1, and the tap is controlled by Elgin as Gooden chases it down, gets it to Harrington. Harrington guarded by Dennis Gates, out of bounds to Whitney Young.
Well, I can't tell you how important it is from an Elgin perspective to get off to a good start, because as I look in the players' eyes, Whitney Young is all business right now. They look like they have the killer instinct. Elgin's got to come out and really do a good job the first 2-3 minutes.
There's Richardson touching the ball for the first time and scoring.
He's so dominant. He's so strong around the basket. He's got to improve his perimeter game at the next level, but this kid can play.
Ludeman firing the three-pointer. It's rebounded by Elgin. Smallwood put it back up, and the rebound Richardson. Ahead he goes to Gates. Now Richardson for 3. 5 points for Quentin Richardson, and it's 5-0 Whitney Young. And on the inbound pass, nearly a steal by Richardson. What more can this guy do in the first minute of the game?
He is all over the place. I can see it in his eyes. He really has something to prove here this weekend. Not only to open eyes about him as a player, but it's more on a team thing. And it couldn't have started worse for Elgin in the first minute.
Marcus Howard has to pick it up. Gets it to Gooden. Gooden goes baseline. Shoots over Clemens, and Elgin is on the board.
That's a big basket just to get your confidence and your sea legs under you. But Elgin has to really be careful with the basketball.
Here's Cordell Henry. Off to Richardson. Gates got it back. Clemens nearly lost it. Out it goes Henry. Henry in the lane. Trying to scoop it to Clemens over his head. And out of bounds. And Elgin gets it.
If you watch George Stanton, the camera shots that you'll get of him throughout the game, he is very much like his mentor, Bob Hambrick. He allows his players to play through tough situations rather than using timeouts. He'll call some more than Hambrick, but he is very much an extension of what Bob Hambrick at Simeon is.
Stanton spent 7 years at Simeon as the freshman and sophomore coach. Won 3 public league titles there with those teams. Spin by Smallwood. And the rebound pulled down by Corey Harris.
And again, a tough shot.
You know, you talk so much about Richardson, Cap, you tend to lose sight of just how talented this young team is. I mean, you go to Henry as the ball is turned over to Elgin. But Corey Harris and Dennis Gates, I mean, you're talking about several guys who will play Division I college basketball.
Oh, I mean, you are looking at maybe the best high school team in America. I know they're ranked second by Basketball News and USA Today, but they are arguably the best team in America.
Shawn Harrington. Get off to Marcus Howard. 5-2, Young leads it. 5:44 to go, first quarter. Here's Harrington again. He'll take a long three off the glass through the hands of Gooden, and it's taken by Young. And here they go on the run, but the pass from Henry to Gates out of bounds. And it's Elgin ball. A little bit too far for Dennis Gates. There's Cordell Henry, who had what Coach Stanton calls his first game and their only loss. They did not lose to a team from the state of Illinois this year. Their only loss was to Lexington of Kentucky.
And that was a great ball game over at Alumni Hall in Chicago. Great.
Stripped the ball out of bounds, Young ball.
Well, let's just talk about the Elgin possessions the last couple, 3 times down. Shawn Harrington hadn't gotten a look at the basket, took a terrible shot. Smallwood with a turnaround over 2 guys, tough shot, and there's a turnover. They're not maximizing their potential in terms of what they're doing with their possession.
Henry fires a 3. Richardson goes up. Talk about your offensive rebound.
What a force.
And our first foul of the ball game. It's called on Dennis Gates of Young. It comes with 4:56 to go in the first quarter, and take a look.
Now watch
Henry.
this. What a great job by Quentin Richardson. Ball comes off, and he's already thinking, where's it going to be? And he's there for the flush. Nice job.
Welcome back to Peoria. Whitney Young off to a 7-2 lead on Elgin. Young has a great inside-outside combination in Quentin Richardson.
Right, he can do it all, Dave. Well put. There you see him knock down the long tray, and now watch him. His aggressiveness on the offensive glass. He's already watching the shot. So many guys bail out and they think the ball's going in, or they don't work hard for position. He worked hard, got inside position, and got the tip dunk.
And it is Richardson 7, Elgin 2. With 4:56 to go in the first quarter. Elgin basketball being pressured here by Young. Dustin Ackman has checked in for the Maroons. Number 30 has the ball right now. Gives it off to Harrington. Fires it to Gooden. Gooden down the lane, lays it in.
Nice job with a ball fake. Looked, didn't find anybody, and then said, you know what? They're not going to respect the dribble, and he took it to the hoop. Nice job.
Gooden's got all 4 of Elgin points. It's a 3-point game. Bouncing to Richardson. Got Ackman on him. And he knocks it away. And then tumbles into the bench.
Well, watch how hard he's working defensively, and he's playing very smart fundamentally. When the ball is above the free throw line extended, you've got to guard the low post on the high side, and he did a real nice job there.
Henry. Richardson, rather, Harris missed the tip in, and a jump ball. On the possession arrow, it remains in the possession of Whitney Young.
Now watch the battle as the game goes on the low block with some of these guys. Elgin does a really good job in their fundamental defense, but they still have the height difference. So there you see the problem, 6-1 right now on the glass.
And Elgin's a team which normally out-rebounds its opponents by about 5 a game. Now they're being out-rebounded by 5. Gates finds Clemens looking to shoot over Gooden and does. First points for Christopher Clemens.
And I mean, Christopher Clemens is an afterthought in their offensive sets. I mean, they look so much toward Richardson and Gates. This kid's a stud around the basket.
Ackman couldn't get the roll. Harris pulls it off the rim. Henry on the run. Ahead he goes. Gates finishing for Young, and it is 11-4 Dolphins.
Well, they do a great job at outletting the ball, and Henry's so quick moving down the court with his dribble.
Harrington scoreless thus far. Matt Ludeman finding Gooden in the corner. Down it goes, 3-pointer, good. Matt Ludeman, a 43% three-point shooter on the season, brings Elgin within 4.
He is number 1 in his senior class with a perfect grade point average. Chief student athlete.
Harris chased it down the offensive rebound, finds Clemens. And Ludeman comes down with it. Harrington up to midcourt.
Did a great job backing out of the trap and keeping his dribble.
Here's Gooden. Muscles one up. And he's fouled. I think they called it on Clemens. Yes, they did. Christopher Clemens with his first foul. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons. Yvonne?
Clemens for Young is actually going to be replaced right now. During the timeout, Stanton talked to him about being more active on defense. In the last two series, he's the one. First, Elgin got a bucket, and then they ended up missing one, but he's been the breakdown defensively, so he has taken him out of the game.
Here's Gooden. Double pumps. Wouldn't go. And Richardson, the rebound. Lead pass for Harris. Knocked away by Gooden, out of bounds. It will be a Young ball.
Ooh, I don't know. Don't know.
He inbounded right in front of the Elgin bench. Ball goes in to Cordell Henry with 2:23 to go first quarter. Henry down the lane.
Man, he's quick. He is so tough because you have to respect his ability to kick the ball to so many offensive options, and then he's so fast he blows by and gets to the glass.
Henry's second team All-State selection by the Illinois coaches. Screen by Gooden. Harrington takes it right. Gooden kept his dribble there, but Henry all over it. And the ball knocked out of bounds. There are hands on just about every pass in this, at both ends, Cap. We're seeing it on the other end, too.
Real good aggressiveness defensively. But the problem Elgin's having, and you may be able to hear Jim Harrington yelling, he's right near us, his guys are so slow executing their offense, they're not getting any crispness out of it. They're not getting any shots off their screens.
Harrington to Gooden traveling. So Elgin turns it over. Number 25, Jim Ebert, 6'4" senior, who was starting for Elgin early in the year. Actually, the better part of the year in there now. Richardson for three. It was blocked. Taken by Gooden. There's Ackman. One-on-one against Richardson. Ackman. There's Richardson, and there's Ackman.
Nice job by
Great timing.
Richardson almost was looking like he wanted the shot block opportunity rather than get back and defend the shot, and Ackman, good head and shoulder fake, created the hoop. Nice job.
And escapes, holds. Now across to Henry on the near side. Here's Richardson. Put it on the deck. He's quadruple teamed. Jump ball, and the ball goes over to Elgin.
Real nice job to trap the post. We'll get you that later, but real good job by Elgin to get hands in there, dig down, trap the post, and puts it on the deck, creates the turnover.
Gooden weaving his way through traffic. Howard. Off the hands of Ebert, taken by Harris. Henry on the run, one-on-one on Harrington.
Gotta be offense, gotta be.
Fouls on Harrington.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the official may have missed this one. Here's the possession before. There's the kick inside. Now look at that. There are 5 white shirts on one man. And he puts it on the deck, and boom, there's the turnover. Now watch this. I'm telling you, Cordell Henry looked to me like he used the arm to push off. No question about it.
But it is Harrington called for the foul. That's the first foul on Elgin here in the final minute of the first quarter. 13-9 in favor of Young, and the Dolphins holding for the final shot of the quarter. Whitney Young, 27-1. They've won 14 in a row since suffering that loss in the hoops in the loop. 20 seconds. Cordell Henry ready to go to work here. Knocks down to 10, and there goes Henry. And a foul in the lane. It's called on Harrington. That's 2 on Shawn Harrington.
Well, it's a big foul. Shawn Harrington is a guy you cannot afford to have on the bench at all in this ball game. He's got to play most of it, or all of the 32 minutes. Here comes Henry off the dribble. He turns the corner. Good call. Good call.
That sends Henry to the free throw line. He's a 71% free throw shooter. Hit a couple of big free throws when Young defeated Fenwick at Northwestern's Welsh Ryan Arena during the season. Makes them both there, and it's 15-9, 7 seconds. Harrington nearly lost it, did lose it. Henry will take it in for the dunk. And that will do it for a very impressive first quarter for the Dolphins of Whitney Young. Didn't get to be number one by accident. Young leads Elgin after one, 17-9 in our first quarterfinal game. We begin the second quarter here in Peoria. Dave Ennett with David Kaplan. Whitney Young ahead 17-9, although Elgin thought they might have a shot at the last shot of the first quarter, but there's Henry.
Well, there's a foul there, though. If you watch closely on that replay, Shawn Harrington's bumped in the backcourt, and the officials just missed the call. You can allow physical play, but you can't allow advantage-disadvantage situations. That was a major disadvantage for Elgin.
Our officials today, Mike Bromley, Paul Norfleet, and Joe Tomlinson. In the corner, a shot by Gates. Off, Richardson goes up and gets it.
Dude, look at that. Man, he can play.
Henry, in and out, tapped back up by Richardson, who comes away with a big smile on his face after that one.
He just loves to play the game. He is a basketball junkie.
Taken away by Gates. Here's Henry on the run. He's right, number 45, a check in for Young. Backed up and in by Quentin Richardson, and Jim Harrington wants a 20-second timeout. So Young has come out and scored the first 4 points here in the second quarter. The telecast rights to this game have been granted to Fox Sports Chicago by the Illinois High School Association. Reproduction or rebroadcast of the boys' IHSA championships are not permitted without the express written consent of Fox Sports Chicago and the IHSA. And Young continuing to dominate here.
Well, they are just all over the backboard. Everything that they're doing right now at the defensive end of the floor and on the glass is working to perfection. They're getting points off their press. They're limiting Elgin to one shot opportunity, and it's always a contested shot, and they are just going hard to the boards, led by that guy, one of the top players in America.
And he has 11 of their 21 points. And it's 21-9.
He's a heck of a kid, Quentin Richardson.
Ebert.
Do you know he has his own website?
Well, he and Gates both have their own web pages. In fact, I believe when he committed to DePaul, didn't he announce it on his web page?
Right, had it on his web page actually just before his press conference.
Cappy, you were exactly right. Harrington was talking in that 20-second timeout and after the end of the first quarter to crash the boards. He was very emphatic, very angry, and he does not feel they're even attempting to do a good job of that, both offensively and defensively.
They're playing intimidated right now.
Foul called on Whitney Young. It's called on Marquise Wright. There's Jim Harrington.
Great tie. Check that tie out. There's George Stanton. Good. Stay back on
Marcus Howard. Harrington still scoreless in the game. Out it goes. Ludeman, three-pointer. Nope. But the rebound chased down by Ludeman. Marcus Howard goes to Ludeman with it. And Harrington, double team, dribbled around it. Took a look inside for good. Now they get it to him in the high post. His bounce pass taken away by Gates. Lead pass for Richardson. There he goes. 13 for Richardson, and it's 23-9.
Well, some guys know how to finish, and some guys do not. That young man knows how to finish in transition because he explodes to the basket.
Ebert finds Harrington at the midcourt circle. Good. Harris on him. Bounces to the weak side, and there's Ebert.
Nice pass, nice catch and score inside. But Elgin has got to kick it into another level defensively because they are just not doing anything on the glass, and they're really a little bit slow reacting to the ball.
It's pass knocked away. Marcus Smallwood checking back in now for Elgin. Marquise Wright will go out, replaced by Christopher Clemens.
Elgin's going to be one of the premier teams next year, top 2 or 3 in the preseason rankings. When you look at Marcus Howard, a sophomore, Harrington, a junior, and Smallwood, a sophomore.
No freshmen on this team, but a couple of very impressive sophomores. Shot by Harris off the front of the iron, taken by Ebert. See if Elgin can get something going. Howard into the front court, shovels it to Ebert. Ebert in the lane, sends it back out to Howard. Howard from 17 feet away, and Clemens rebounds for Young. There's Henry. Richardson calling for it on the wing, but Henry will dump it to Harris, and he lays it in.
As we talked about earlier, he's so quick with the basketball, you have to respect the dribble drive or the penetrating ability, and he finds the guy right at the basket. Does such a good job. Plus, he had Richardson spotted up for a 3.
Howard to Smallwood, right of the lane. There's Ebert. Got around Richardson and laid it in. Ebert.
Interior pass by Smallwood. Ebert with the lay-in, but that's all set up by a nice job with interior passing.
Timeout taken by George Stanton, and let's take a look at the last basket here. Smallwood to Ebert.
And that's a dangerous pass, as you see it on the replay. Quentin Richardson just did not have himself in good fundamental position defensively, otherwise he gets a steal. I mean, that ball should be Quentin Richardson's all day long, but he was not playing ball, man defense.
Ebert for 25. Described by his coach as instant energy. He's been coming off the bench. And when he made that substitution cap to go to Smallwood and Howard, it was not as if they had gone on a long losing streak. They lost one game to Waubonsee Valley, and then he decided to change up his lineup.
Chemistry. It's all about chemistry. As we saw last week with Nauvoo Calusa.
Pretty shot by Harris. He's got 4, and it's 27-13.
Go back to their press again.
Smallwood to Howard, taken down by Clemens. Here's Henry. Richardson.
Well, you're going to enjoy watching this young man.
15 now for Richardson. You almost think he missed a shot, but then he gets the offensive rebound. And look at the job they're doing on the offensive glass.
Difference in the game, and they are just working so hard to get to the glass.
Harrington, his first points, and it's 29-15.
Nice little runner by Shawn Harrington. This is a young man who has to have a huge offensive output in the second half for Elgin to be in this game.
Henry's fadeaway short, Small with the rebound. Harrington weaves past Clemens. Henry hustles down the floor with him. Ebert to Smallwood. Out it goes. Harrington will fire the 3. And gates the rebound for Whitney Young with 2:53 to go. First half, 29-15, Young in command.
Now watch inside, Dave. What they do, Elgin defensively, while they're fronting a post, is what gives Whitney Young a great advantage on the offensive glass. It's tough to get position when you're fronting the post. You got to work hard to get back around the box out.
Harris looking for Clemens, knocked away by Ebert, out of bounds. It remains Young's ball. We have a timeout here, 2:29 to go. First half in Peoria. Young leading the Elgin Maroons 29-15. We'll be back. Welcome back to Carver Arena in Peoria. Whitney Young leading Elgin 29-15 in our first quarterfinal game. George Stanton winding up an 11-year run as the head coach at Young, and he'd like nothing better than to go out with a championship. Look at this field goal shooting. 50% by Young. Elgin 7 of 17. Young on a 10-4 run here over the last 4 minutes.
Hard not to shoot at least 50% when you're getting so many offensive stickbacks for dunks and layups.
A lot of points in the paint for Whitney Young. Here's Richardson to post up. The defender fell down. Richardson missed the shot, got it back. Wow. 17 now for Richardson. It's 31-15.
Well, Elgin did a poor job at doubling the post. They didn't get anybody down there quick enough, and that's what set up the position for Richardson to crash the offensive glass.
Harrington with just 2 points. Altman. He'll have to get rid of it, and does. Good and up top. Takes it down the lane.
Real nice layup. He kept tearing up real estate and finally got himself to the rim and said, I'm here. Laid it in. Nice job.
Gooden now with 6. Elgin back within 14 as we approach the final minute of the second quarter. There's Richardson around the gates.
You see Richardson wants the ball. He likes it on the right side of the floor.
Kind of hard to tell, though. Seems to like it everywhere.
He does.
Harris to Henry. Final minute. First half. Harris, here's Richardson. Kicks it back out to Cordell Henry. Henry bound for Marquette University. Young. Patience here in the half court, and why not? The 14-point lead, final half minute of the second quarter. Gates. Ludeman came up, tried to knock it away from Henry. Now outside Gates. Who's going to get the final shot here, Cap?
I wonder.
Clemens. Out to Gates. He'll take it for 3. Dennis Gates.
Well, Richardson didn't even crash the basket there. He stayed back involved in the rotation in case somebody was going to have a cherry-picking layup. And so Dennis Gates buries the 3. He was very quiet in the first half, but he's also a heck of a player.
We have reached the half here in Peoria. Our first quarterfinal game. Whitney Young in control, and let's go to Yvonne.
Thanks, Dave. Coach Stanton, quickness and boarding has really proved to be really tough for Elgin.
Well, we pride ourselves being a little quick, and we have a pretty big team, and we're not rebounding, and I play small people, so tell my big people if they're not going to rebound, and I'm going small.
Now, do you have to be concerned at all that you guys have this big lead of staying up for the second half?
No, you have to forget. I haven't forgotten last year we lost this game down here, and neither have the kids. They're going to play hard. If we get beat, it won't be because we get complacent.
Okay, thank you. Good luck. Go talk to your guys. Dave, back to you.
All right, Yvonne, thank you. So at halftime, George Stanton's Whitney Young Dolphins lead Elgin 34-17. Ann Werner standing by in the March Madness experience for our halftime activities coming up.
Stand by.
From putting the basketball floor together to the baskets to manning all the games that the kids get to enjoy.
And this started 3 years ago. This is the 3rd year you've had it. What was the impetus to get all this going in the first place?
Well, we wanted to give the fans a taste of March Madness so that they have something to do to feel a part of the activities. We've got maybe 10 people that can play on a real basketball floor at any given time. Well, now 40,000 people can play.
And tonight the experience is open until 10, tomorrow 9 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. What's been the fan favorite?
I think Slam Dunk's probably the favorite this year, particularly for some of the older kids.
All right, thank you, Bill Roeder, and stay with us. We're going to have much more from the AA championships when we come back. Welcome back. Right now at halftime of the first Elite Eight game, Whitney Young leads the Elgin Maroons 34-17. Welcome back inside the Peoria Civic Center. I'm Ann Warner, and we are inside the Peoria Civic Center for the March Madness experience. As we just heard from Bill Roeder, there is quite a lot going on here over the next 2 days, so if you get a little weary sitting in the stands, this is your cure for bleacher butt. I'll tell you what, there is so much going on here. And obviously, at half times and between games, it's a little more crowded, but this is open all day long. So parents, come on and bring your kids over. And high school kids have really been getting into the action as well. They're having three-point shootouts all day long. So Whitney Young leads right now. More games coming up today, and then tomorrow, Saturday, we've got the semifinals, followed 6 o'clock, our March Madness special. And we will have previews of the championship game, live interviews, etc. You won't want to miss our March Madness special tomorrow night at 6. But stay tuned right now. Dave Ennett and Dave Kaplan are going to be back with highlights and stats from our first game at halftime, Whitney Young and Elgin. Keep it right here.
Whitney Young led wire to wire in the first half here and leads Elgin at halftime 34-17. Let's look at the first half highlights.
Well, Dennis Gates finds his running buddy, Quentin Richardson. It was 5-0. Whitney Young, before you blink, all 5 from Quentin Richardson. And watch Quentin inside. Tip dunk, get out of my way. And then Brent Gooden tries to get Elgin close. Nice driving layup among the trees. But watch Cordell Henry with a real nice job here in the break. Here comes the point guard. Look for Dennis Gates. He's finished, and he does with the lay-in. Matt Ludeman kept Elgin in the ballgame. Got an open, clean look, and he buried it from 3. But then watch Henry, his quickness. Gets himself to the basket, gets it up on the glass and scores. And then the Cordell Henry show continues. He gets away with a bump here on Harrington. There's the bump. Leads to the turnover, and the little guy says, I go up and dunk. Quentin Richardson, watch this. Here comes Richardson. He can finish in transition as well. Nice job to switch hands, avoid the shot block, and get the hoop. And then here's Corey Harrison's side. Nice speed with the hoop. Here's good interior passing from Elgin. Smallwood finds Ebert for the lay-in. Then here comes Shawn Harrington. Very quiet offensively in the first half, but he gets a move inside and uses a leaner to get a hoop for Elgin. Brent Gooden. Nice job, another layup among the trees. And then it finishes with Whitney Young running out. The final 45 seconds, and Dennis Gates, a clean look for 3, and that's where we're at, 34-17.
And as we look at our Ameritech first half stats, we'll do that as we take a look at the scoreboard. Young leading 34-17 over Elgin here at halftime. Our Ameritech first half stats, 44% shooting by Elgin in the first half. We'll be back in a moment. We get set for the third quarter here in Peoria. Whitney Young leading Elgin 34-17. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Thanks, Dave. Coach Harrington, you had your halftime. What'd you say to the kids?
We just got to get a lot more aggressive. We're very passive in the first half. We only had 2 team fouls. We didn't box out very well. And if you don't box Whitney Young off the bench, they're going to play ping pong with it up there. We just got to become more aggressive. Offensively, we got to swing the ball. We got the ball on the one side of the floor. We're not swinging it to the other side to create some 2-on-1 situations. So just got to be a little more patient on offense, run what we're supposed to run, and we got to box out and try to handle their pressure, which I thought we did okay with. We just didn't do a very good job on the boards, and just got to get more aggressive.
That about sums it up. Good luck. Thanks, Dave. Back to you.
And we're underway. Elgin with the ball to start the second half. Smallwood, double team, sends it outside to Howard. Out of bounds to Whitney Young. Turnover number 8 by Elgin. That look kind of sums it up.
Well, you work so hard to get to this point. The ultimate is a trip to the Elite Eight in the state of Illinois, the premier state for prep basketball. And Jim Harrington sits over and says, this is what the reward is? Whitney Young, round one. But his guys he's got some young players. They experience. They got to come out here and execute, especially the first 3 minutes, and try and make a little run and chip away at it. You can't get it all back on one possession.
Last possession for Young was the three-pointer by Gates at the end of the second quarter. Richardson muscles his way past Harrington, put it up, and then tipped it back up and in.
Watch what a nice job he does. Every time he takes a shot in the paint, he doesn't watch the shot. The shot's gone, he can't do anything about that, and he goes right to the glass. That's what makes him such a good player.
Howard for three for Elgin. That's just their second three-point field goal, and it's 36-20. First points of the game for Marcus Howard. Harris, the drive. Off the glass. Through the legs of Howard.
I think you're going to get Clemens on a foul. Let's take a look. Watch Quentin Richardson, what he does here on the low block. Nice job. He spins away from the defense, but see how he reacts? As soon as the shot is gone, he's at the glass. If it goes in, he doesn't have to worry, but he misses, boom, he's there for the tip-in. That's why he's so tenacious on the offensive boards, because he works so hard at it.
Foul on Clemens of Young, his second. First foul here in the second half, and it's Elgin ball. Harrington finds Ludeman out on the wing. Bouncing down low, Gooden. Kept on the baseline.
See, in that situation, Elgin needed to come down, and Harrington needed to swing the ball down to the corner. You've got to force the defense to shift. The only way to make a defense work is to make him move.
Pass by Richardson is poked away. They tried to get it down to Marquise Wright. And Gates will trigger left of the goal.
I'll tell you that Whitney Young would make anyone's all-airport team. God, do they have big guys to walk with this club. 6'9's coming off the bench.
Wright is 6'9". Clemens, who's in there, is 6'7". They're right up and down the lineup. Richardson, out it goes to Gates. Henry open for three. Off the side, Richardson. 21 now for Quentin Richardson.
Well, Cordell Henry's not a great perimeter shooter, more of a set shooter. Takes a long time to get the shot off, but Quentin Richardson again goes to the glass.
Did hit a big three at the halftime buzzer in the Public League Championship. Now Henry on the run and takes it end to end.
Well, just got to get another timeout. They are just completely out of sync right now.
Harrington calling for a timeout. And they take it. 5:05 to go, third quarter. Young extends the lead here in the third quarter, 40-20. And welcome back. 5:05 to go, third quarter. Young leading Elgin 40-20. And you'll see the steal here.
Well, great job on defense by Whitney Young to get up the passing lane. That's a tough pass to try and complete. And there you see the jet quick, Cordell Henry. He reminds me of you when you were a player.
Exactly right, Cap. Henry now with 8 points. And it's Elgin ball. The Maroons down by 20.
You weren't quite as quick.
No, not quite. Harrington. Number 11, Mike Roth, former starter, has his shovel pass stolen. And Wright with the steal, and he gets to finish.
Come on, Elgin, you're a decent ball club now. Let's go. Elgin's got to come down, get everyone a touch, run their offense, and try and chip away and get back in this ball game.
Harrington, averaging 22.5 points a game, has scored but 2.
The problem with a game like this is Elgin's a heck of a club, one of the top in the state, but Whitney Young is so far head and shoulders above everybody that it really makes Elgin look bad.
Smallwood and count the basket. Marcus Smallwood, who came up huge in the super sectional, playing on a bruised foot, gets the offensive rebound here.
A real good job here by Elgin. Watch Smallwood on the offensive glass, inside position, ticky-tack foul on Richardson for the three-point play. Look at Jim Harrington.
First foul on Richardson. Second team foul on Young here in the second half. 4:07 to go in the third quarter. Elgin is within 19. Clemens in the high post, into the corner to Henry. Right, finds Clemens. This time the foul called on Clemens. That's his third. That's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Young today is 3 fouls on Clemens.
He hasn't reacted as quickly as he needs to the glass.
Smallwood saved it, put it up. Takes the rebound. Bounces ahead to Clemens.
Whitney Young does such a great job, Dave, in their transition because they recognize the change from offense to defense, defense to offense. Here they come, boom, right down the court, and there's 3 blue jerseys going to the basket. They do a very good job in recognizing that change, and that's why they're so quick getting on the court.
Mike Roth called for the Elgin foul. Clemens, a 64% free throw shooter, clangs the first one off the front. Now Smallwood will go out, and Jim Ebert will check in for Elgin. This is only the 4th free throw attempt today by Young, and it's good. 32, Reginald Jones has checked in for Young. He's a 6'3", 190-pound senior. Gooden weaving his way through traffic. And the jumper no good by Ludeman. Richardson ahead to Gates. Right, the runner, no. Richardson tips it back in. 23 for Quentin Richardson, which is as many points as Elgin has scored.
He's saying he could win 1 on 5.
And now he intercepts the pass. Here's Henry. The alley-oop and the one-hand jam by Gates.
It is just showtime for Whitney Young. A year ago in this very game, they came in, took on the heavily favored Peoria Manual Rams, and Whitney Young was intimidated. Today, they are like a lion stalking their prey.
They are the intimidators today. Good. Rebound by Wright. They lost 51-46 to Manual here last year in the quarterfinals. Henry.
What a pass by Quentin Richardson. Beautiful job. Bounce pass across the court. He's so unselfish. He's always looking in the team concept for a better shot opportunity than the one he has at that time.
Foul at midcourt on Richardson.
Now here's the alley-oop. Nice job by Gates. Go up, flush that down. But watch it. Look at that pass. Between 2 defenders, find the little guy. Says, you know what? You've got a layup. You take the shot. Quentin Richardson is prime time.
Coach Stanton looks very happy with the way things are going.
He should. He should.
He should. 49-23. Double team Ebert, and now Smallwood from 14 feet away. Nope.
Elgin's getting trapped on the post, and they're not swinging the ball. They've got to move it side to side, but they have just become so one-dimensional. Feed it in, and as soon as the guy has a decent look, the shot's going.
Rebound pulled down by Mark Mallow, 6'2" junior, into the ball game for Elgin. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Ludeman. And around it goes. The 3 good by Harrington.
That's the first time I can remember in several possessions that they have moved the ball side to side. They took it all the way down to the baseline and got Harrington a clean look, and he drilled it.
Let's go to Yvonne Simmons. Yvonne?
Hey guys, there are a lot of father and son combination stories we've heard. Today we have our own in Jim and Shawn Harrington. And I'm sitting with Carol Harrington, who you guys pulled a tough draw on Whitney Young, but you said you guys are so proud to be here.
Oh, we really are. We're just delighted to be here. We never dreamed we would be 30 wins at the end of the season. Too bad we couldn't have played somebody else, but we're just thrilled to represent our school.
You've been sitting in the stands for 13 seasons, and how special is this that Shawn is playing with his son right now downstate, with his father?
Since the boys, both my son Dusty and Shawn knew about basketball, we've been bringing them down here to the tournament, and we've always felt that they've always said, we'd love to play down here, Dad, for you someday. We'd love to be here and play and not just be in the stands. And here they are with their dad, and it's the most exciting thing. My oldest son is here. My other son's playing for his father, and I couldn't be more excited. Oh, I will. Hi, everybody. I hope you are studying hard this morning and having a good time this afternoon. Have a great spring break.
Have fun. Thank you. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you. Shawn Harrington used to sit in the stands here with his dad and talk about someday coming here. There's Ludeman scoring for Elgin.
There's some interesting father-son storylines around the country with this game. Of course, Homer Drew, the great story there with his son Bryce, and the other son Scott, the assistant. I think those are neat family opportunities that you can't put a price on things like that. They are so valuable. Great memories.
Final 8 seconds of the third quarter. And coming over the back is Mallow with a foul.
Nice job by Cordell Henry to stop, start, spin. There's a nice move into the lane, goes up, and the dish inside. And Eccles is just a freshman, so Whitney Young may lose some great players, but there's not going to be a huge fall off. They've got some other very good underclassmen in this program.
Najib Eccles, 71% from the line.
George Stanton looks like he's down 3 instead of up 21. Very intense coach.
Eccles missing both. That's going to do it for the third quarter. A dominating performance here by George Stanton's Whitney Young Dolphins, and after 3, they lead Elgin 51-28. Whitney Young has scored 17 points in each of the 3 quarters thus far and leads Elgin 51-28 as we begin the fourth quarter. I'm Dave Bennett with David Kaplan. Nice to have you along for the first of our 4 quarterfinal games today. After this one, it'll be Joliet against Quincy. David and Tom Dorr will bring you that one. He's back tonight with 2 more. It's knocked away by Mallow, and Mallow gets it. 17-11 advantage in the third quarter for Whitney Young. Smallwood, the offensive rebound, a put back attempt no good. Richardson rebounds. Steps right through 2 defenders, lobs ahead, follows the miss, and adds to his total. 25 now for Richardson.
How many rebounds does that young man have today? He has just absolutely dominated this game, unlike any performance I can remember down here in a long time.
Smallwood for Elgin. He's got 5. Reginald Jones with his first points of the game. Six different players have now scored for Young. They go back door, Elgin does, to Gooden, and a foul.
Nice pass. Shawn Harrington, a real good look inside. Gooden's done a nice job today. In the face of some unbelievable tall timbers inside, Gooden's done a nice job flashing into the low post and getting some shot opportunities. Here comes Richardson. He gets trapped in the backcourt and says, you know what, I've got my dribble. I'll take it down, makes the pass. There's the entry that creates the opportunity, and he's on the glass. that's the most impressive part of his game. I know he can score. I know that he's a heck of a young man. But when you talk about his game on the court, his ability to have such a high level of energy, a motor always going, to go to the glass, play every play till the whistle blows, is the most impressive part of his game.
Gooden now with 8. 55-32. And a foul at the other end as Dustin Ackman came flying in for Elgin. And Najee Beckles will inbound on the baseline to Richardson. And though he hasn't done it since early in the game, he can shoot the 3 too, but he's been getting most of his points inside.
Well, the low post move that he just made, he does a very good job for a guy 6'6" at posting up, even against bigger guys that he's faced throughout the year in the Chicago Public League and some of the various tournaments they've been in. He's a very physical low post guy. He knows how to use his legs, make a big wide base, use his arm to hold the defender off, and give a target to call for the ball.
22, Marcus Sankey has checked in for Young. And at the free throw line, Richardson, 79% free throw shooter, makes that one. Gates returning, replacing Reginald Jones.
Gates is the ultimate role player. He'd be a superstar on most any team in Illinois, but with a guy like Quentin Richardson, as you look at those numbers, wow. Look at Dennis Gates, he's the ultimate role player. He's willing to be a secondary ball handler, a secondary scorer, a secondary rebounder, an outstanding defender. He's the kind of guy you win with.
Landon Cox, the coach of King, described him as annoying. Richardson, another rebound.
As only Landon can do.
Beckles collides hard with Howard.
Landon, I talked to him the other day, and he said, I think we're going to be back. He's got a lot of young players on his team, but he said, I'll tell you what, the best team won the city championship. No question, Whitney Young was the best team.
67-46 was the final on Sunday at the UIC Pavilion when Whitney Young defeated King to earn the trip here.
You know, he made an interesting point, Landon Cox did. He said he had made a statement that a West Side team will not win a state championship, West Side of Chicago, because of the difference in play on the west side of Chicago to the south side and the central part of the city. He said on the west side they allow much more physical play. He said the west side teams get down here, they try and guard that way with a very physical grab and clutch style of play, and the officials who are from downstate, a lot of them, don't allow it, and they get in trouble. But he said, I think Whitney Young will overcome it because they're so talented and so well coached. He believes they will win the state championship.
Well, he ought to know 6 public league teams have come down here or come to state since 1980, and Kings had 4 of those, and they've won 3 titles.
Well, other than King, the last public league team to win a championship was all the way back in '84. Bob Hambrick, George Stanton was his assistant. Bob Hambrick and Simeon with Ben Wilson and his great team.
Foul was called on Ebert. 15th foul on Elgin, and at the line is Marcus Sankey.
But the interesting thing is the rivalry that goes on in the public league, not just between teams, but between areas of the city. You're from the west side, you're no good, we're from the south side. They really battle over their territory, and Landon said he did not think until he saw Whitney Young that a west side team could come down here and succeed. Whitney Young can succeed. They're tremendous.
Sankey misses the second. Richardson gets it and dunks it. 29 for Richardson, 60-34.
What more can you say? He is doing everything.
He had 23 in the Public League Championship game. His high this year was 46 against Manly. Still have 5 minutes to go. Good, scoops it up there, and it's taken off the rim by Clemens. Henry ahead to Gates. Here's Clemens shooting over Smallwood, blocked by Smallwood. Harrington. Howard to finish for Elgin. That was about as good a ball movement as they've had today.
Real nice pass. Shawn Harrington, just a junior. He will be one of the elite players in the Midwest next year.
Sankey drills it to Richardson. Out the basket for Richardson. Here's the block by Smallwood.
Here comes Elgin. Now watch Harrington. Nice job to explode into lane. He goes past Gates, and there's your dish. He avoids the shot block. Nice job, Shawn Harrington, with the dish for the lay-in.
At the other end, the foul on Smallwood, and Richardson at the free throw line to complete the three-point play. Safe to say that Quentin Richardson has put his signature on this opening game of the 1998 Illinois Class AA quarterfinals. It is 63-36, Young. 4:40 to go, fourth quarter here in Peoria. Young leading Elgin 63-36. And Young has dominated this game. Jim Harrington of Elgin.
You know, it's not too early to think about a potential tournament record. Quentin Richardson already with 32 and 16 boards. The all-time state tournament record, 4 games, because you count the super sectional or the public league final as an appearance downstate. All-time, Class A, and all-time is Jay Scheidler of Lawrenceville. They called him the Bionic Boy, 157 points in 1976. 27, 37, 48, and 45. And the Class AA record, Marcus Liberty of Chicago King, 1987, 41, 23, 38, and 41 for 143 points. Quentin Richardson, 23, as we said, in the public league final, and 32 so far today.
Wow. There's Shawn Harrington, averaging just about 23 points a game coming in.
When to go?
Just scored his 6th point of the game. Harrington with a 7. Christopher Yates in for Young now. Henry. Oh.
Move over creativity there.
Well, when you're up by 25, I think you have the opportunity to be a little bit over creative. You've got a margin for error. Just put it that way.
A slight margin for error. You cannot find an empty seat in this place. It is just packed.
Just getting started. Coming up, Joliet, which comes in with the most losses of any of the Elite 8, which is a great testament to the strength of this field because they only lost 6 games during the season. They'll take on Quincy, the team which knocked out Peoria Manual, the 4-time defending champions, on Tuesday night. Harrington, the jumper. Now he's starting to heat up a little bit.
Well, he's got to look at this, and so does Jim Harrington, his father. This is experience that will be very valuable next season, when 3 of their starting 5 returns, led by their all-state performer, Shawn Harrington, their fine guard.
63-40 Young leading. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Hey guys, I found myself on the bench with Lonnie Holland, who now plays for Southern, but he was a senior last year on this team. And can you talk about the difference in this team as opposed to last year when you came down here?
Last year, the difference between this year and last year's team is that this year they have much more experience. Quinn is playing unstoppable right now. Cordell and Dennis, I give them all credit. They came down here with a lot of heart and a championship on their mind. This their senior year, and I think they deserve it the way they've been playing this year.
You were the slam dunk champion last year. You doing any dunking down in Louisiana?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing a lot of dunking down in Louisiana. I'm having a lot of fun. I think we have a good chance of winning the SWAC next year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play due to ankle injury in the beginning of the preseason, but I'm having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, back to the game.
Jason Parker lost the ball. It was taken away by Howard, and then Parker nearly got it back. He does have it.
Like a scrum out there. You know, Lonnie Holland, I was here last year when he won the Slam Dunk Championship. He was an unsung hero on that team that got down here last year because they had all these great young players, and he was the veteran that brought some real leadership to that club.
Here's Harrington working against Yates. That was picked up by Walson. And his pass is stolen by Reginald Jones. Harrington tried to steal it back and committed a foul. Third foul on Harrington. It comes with 3:17 to go. Well, we talked about the fact that Joliet had lost only 6 games coming in. The combined one-loss record, the 8 teams here for the quarterfinals, 216 and 25. Winning percentage of .896. Wow.
Great field down here. Great field. Every game, I think, is going to be the rest of the day a very good matchup. Obviously, Whitney Young is a team everyone is pointing towards, but there's some good matchups today. Tonight, Maine West Fenwick should be just a whaler.
Howard for 3.
You know, Marcus Howard's mom was a cheerleader at Elgin High School.
Is that right? That's correct. Seconds called on Young, and Elgin will have another shot now. Down by 21 with inside of 3 minutes to go.
A couple of famous alums from Elgin. Max Adler, he donated the Adler Planetarium. And Frederick Adams, who designed the first streamlined train.
Scott didn't know that.
There you go.
The 3-pointer by Ludeman. That's a great accomplishment.
That 50 cents a continuous pay.
This team, Dave, has hit a couple of 3-pointers here down the stretch. Elgin came in with the best 3-point field goal percentage of any of the teams in the quarterfinals.
When we talked in the open, Shawn Harrington is a better shooter from 3 than he is from his 2-point shots because he's not the explosive athlete that goes over the top of you inside, but he comes off screens and gets a lot of clean open looks for 3, and he makes it. 46% shooter from beyond the arc.
Gooden keeps it alive for Elgin. Looking to shoot over Wright. Wright comes away with it. Inside of 2 minutes. Yates, a junior. No hurry here for Young. Coach Harrington getting set to clear his bench. Wright. He's right, had it blocked. Young got it back. Yvonne, what you got?
Hey, Kaplan, you were talking about Howard's mother. Well, I got her here, Dee Howard, who was a cheerleader in '73. And I hear Howard is the 4th generation to play.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
What other members of your family have played at Elgin?
I have 3 brothers who played at Elgin High School in '75, '80, and '83. And then my mother had 3 brothers who played in Elgin High School in '49, '55, and '59, and then my grandfather played in 1929.
Well, your son is a sophomore, got a pretty good future. You got to be happy about that.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. This is my husband, Jeff Howard.
Played at St. Charles. Okay, you guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, and thank you to the Howard family. Marcus Howard with 10 points on the game, all 10 here in the second half. At the free throw line, Walson misses both for Young. Coach Harrington has cleared his bench. This is Mike Roth to midcourt as we approach the final minute.
There you go. Dustin Ackman knocks down the jumper. He even for the Elgin players that are just getting in here at the end of the ball game, it's an experience, Dave, that you can't describe to say you stepped on the state tournament floor and you played in the ball game.
You had the chance to come down here, and it's an invaluable experience for next year and for beyond.
Well, in fact, Tom Dorr, who I'll be doing the next game with, played on one of the greatest teams this state has ever seen that never made it down here. I believe they won 92 ball games in a row at Leiden, East Leiden, with great Norm Goodman as their coach, Glenn Grunwald, Tom Dorr, those great teams. But they always got beat in the sectional or in the regional, never got down here. And Tom said today, to this day, that's one of the most bitter disappointments of his athletic career.
Well, gee, I wonder who our Lincoln Mercury player of the game might be, Cap.
What do we think? Can we take a poll? I guess we can give it to Quentin.
Quentin Richardson, 32 points today, and he is our Lincoln Mercury player of the game. Look at that shooting.
14 of 18. He did knock down a 3. He scored in transition. He dominated on the glass, 16 boards. Just a tremendous performance, and he worked hard at the defensive end to help his team to break this game open in the first quarter.
11 offensive rebounds as well for Richardson. Yates scoring for Young. And Whitney Young is going to move on to the semifinals. Jack Bolinsky puts it in at the buzzer for Elgin. But this one is over, and Young moves on to take on the winner of our next game between Joliet and Quincy in the semis. 68-50. Young defeats Elgin here in the first quarterfinal game in Peoria behind an outstanding performance, an outstanding all-around performance, but a great performance from Quentin Richardson. Let's go to Yvonne Simmons.
Coach Stanton, you guys made it through the quarterfinals in a convincing fashion. What did you see out there?
They played pretty much how we've been playing all year. You know, we were a little tight earlier. Made a couple of extra passes we don't normally make, but we controlled the boards and did the things we try to do on defense.
Any adjustments for the next game that you're just thinking of, something you didn't like today?
Well, you know, we always want to play better because our big people weren't as active as I wanted to on defense. You know, so we're going to try to, you know, wake them up a little bit.
Okay, again, congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Yvonne. And Coach Stanton will get his troops ready for the semifinals tomorrow as Young takes the first quarterfinal game, 68-50. We'll be right back. $68-50, the final score here as Whitney Young defeats Elgin in our first quarterfinal game. Wire-to-wire victory here for the Dolphins of Whitney Young. I'm Dave Bennett with David Kaplan, and Whitney Young, good as advertised, Cap.
They were. They came in on a mission. They wanted to take that next step. Last year got here and were beaten in the quarters. They were absolutely awesome in every aspect of the game from start to finish.
The only problem for Young now is what do they do for an encore? We'll find out tomorrow in the first semifinal game. Let's take a look at our Pepsi play of the game, and as you might suspect, it involves Quentin Richardson.
Well, he just dominated on the glass and around the basket. And watch how hard he works right there. There's your tip dunk, but again, explosive to the rim. That is your Pepsi play of the game.
Richardson with 32 points here today. As Young wins it, they will now move on to play the winner of our next quarterfinal game. And we'll check out the Ameritech final stats. And as you might suspect, pretty impressive shooting by Young, 52%, Elgin 44%. Look at the rebounding and look at the offensive rebounding.
Well, the offensive rebounding is unbelievable. The second chance points are incredible, and the turnovers leading to points off of turnovers, 21-7 advantage, big time.
And leading the way, Richardson with those 32 points. So Young moves on now, and they've got about 24 hours, a little less than that, to get ready for the next hurdle.
Absolutely. They will relax, go back, get something to eat. They'll watch this game on TV. The tape machine will be going, and they will get a game plan together very quickly for tomorrow's semis.
All right, well, stay with us. A lot more basketball coming your way as we continue our coverage. Stay tuned for the next quarterfinal today featuring Quincy and Joliet. Then tune in again tonight at 6:30 for the remaining quarterfinal games tonight, live on Fox Sports Chicago. For Yvonne Simmons, David Kaplan, and our entire Trio video crew, I'm Dave Bennett saying so long for now. Once again, our final score was Whitney Young defeating Elgin 68-50. The preceding has been a presentation of Fox Sports Chicago and Intersport Television. March Madness experience continues immediately.